students. Welcome to Music Appreciation here at UACCM. I am Mr. Logan Smith. I'm your instructor for this course. And the first thing I wanted to do for this class was to introduce myself and to give you kind of a rundown of what to expect in this class, go over the syllabus, go over how the assignments work, and all of that stuff that you'll need to know here early on. So as I said, my name is Mr. Logan Smith. I am a graduate of University of Central Arkansas for both my bachelor's and master's degrees. I was a band director for about 10 years before taking this job. And I also am a director of music for a small church in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And as you can see behind me, I am in my home studio here. And I also play several instruments, guitar and bass and keyboards and synthesizers and all kinds of stuff. And I have a YouTube channel under the name Logan Jacob, where I post videos regarding electronic music, some of my electronic music, and also some collaborations that I've done with some of my friends in the jazz world. Along with some classical compositions and just everything that I've done over the last few years. If you go to YouTube and search for Logan Jacob, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's certainly not required for this class. You can also find me on Facebook. If you search for Logan Jacob Music, go to fb.me/Logan Jacob Music to find my official page there if you care about that stuff. You can also reach me if you need anything for the class. The best way to reach me is smithlogan@uaccm.edu. And there's a link to that email in Blackboard. You can also find it in the syllabus. So like I said, for this video, I'm going to jump over to sharing my screen on the computer, and we're going to go over all of the stuff that you need to know, all this, the syllabus and the course materials, pages, how to navigate through Blackboard and all of that stuff. All right, so I'm going to jump over to the screen here and share everything with you. I just wanted you to have a face to go with the name, and I look forward to hearing from you guys too.
Okay, so now I'm going to take you through the course in Blackboard, what it looks like and what you can expect to find here, so you have a good idea of how to navigate through things and where to find all the materials for the semester. I also want to go over the syllabus and some other important documents that you're going to need during this time as well. So this may be a little bit lengthy, but it'll really get you started on everything that you're going to need to know for the semester. So when you first log in to our course in Blackboard, you are on a Begin Here page, which looks like this. And it has this big What Do I Do on Day 1 information tab. So this has everything that you're going to need to know for the first couple of days of class. So the first thing that you need to do is go over to the syllabus page, and you've clicked on hopefully the video under Watch Now. That's the video that you're watching right now. And then after that, you're going to go to the Announcements tab and click on the blue box that says Join Class if you have not yet joined our Remind, which I sent an email about earlier, but you may not have joined it yet, so you'll be able to find that. And I'll show you that in just a second. And then I want you to go to Course Materials and find Week 1 and start working on that. And I'm going to show you that here in just a moment. So let me first go to the announcements thing and show you what I was talking about there. So all of our course announcements are going to show up over here on the left navigation bar under Announcements. If you click on that, the top announcement will always be this Remind feed. Okay, and this is the same information that goes out through our Remind class, which I sent an email about that earlier that you should have gotten. Now, if you have not yet joined the class, if you click Join Class here, you will be able to subscribe to this feed so that you get a text message whenever I post an announcement. Almost all of the announcements for the class will be posted here. If I need to post announcements for anything else, they'll show up underneath, but then I'll also send you either an email or a remind text to let you know, hey, I had to post a longer announcement. So the remind feed, I can only do 140 characters at a time, so if I need to post a longer announcement, I will post it here and then send an email out for you to go check that. Okay? Now, the first thing it actually says to do is to go to the Syllabus and Important Information tab. So this is that one right here. It used to just say Syllabus, and now it actually has important information in there as well. And you'll notice that there's a lot of stuff in this page. Now, fortunately, you don't actually have to go through all of this stuff in detail. Okay, I just want to show you the most important things that you need to go over right now. So the first one, of course, is the syllabus. We're going to go through that in just a minute. Our course schedule, which is going to show you what topics we're covering from week to week. Our course outline and due dates has the entire course, all of the assignments, tests, quizzes, everything that you need to know for the course and when it's due. That is all found in this document, so that's a very important document. Our course expectations we'll go over in just a minute. It's just kind of some more detailed information that you might need that I didn't put in the syllabus. Our performance assessment guidelines, these are the guidelines for our special performance assessments, and I'm going to talk more about those later on. And then you've got a couple of videos. One of them is how to complete your music appreciation assignments. I use basically two types of assignments in this class, and I made a video to show you exactly how to do those. And I've got a link to this video under week 1 as well, so you can see how to complete those assignments as well. Now, if you are a Mac user and you use Apple Pages to edit documents, which is kind of Apple's version of Microsoft Word, then you need to watch this short video. It's only about 5 minutes long, but you can't upload Pages files into Blackboard for me to be able to read them. It'll let you upload them, but I can't read them. So I need you to be able to export those. So if you are a Mac user, just click on that video, watch it. It's only 5 minutes long, and you'll get the information there. Underneath there, you'll find our college syllabus. I'm not going to get into that. It's the same for every class this semester. It's something new that they've done. They split our syllabus up, so you have the course information on one side, and then the college syllabus for every class is the same, and that's just information about policies that apply to everybody in every class at UACCM. The important dates for fall 2022, that's a good one to go ahead and have on hand somewhere, print it off, stick it in your binder, whatever you want to do. So it has all the important dates, when fall break is, when the last day to drop a class, all of that stuff that you need to know for the fall from now through the new year. And then, of course, the final exam schedule. That has all of your in-person classes, the times that those meet, whenever that exam should be. Okay. And I'm not going to go through those 3 things today. You can click on those and peruse them on your own. But I do want to hit some of these top documents, okay? First off, the syllabus. If you click on that, it's going to open up a Word document. Sometimes it'll go ahead and open in the browser, but for me, it actually downloads it. So I'm going to click and open that now. All right, and magically our syllabus has appeared. Obviously, I cut out me actually going in and opening that, but it'll open up in Microsoft Word. It is a doc that you can then look at. And the reason I use a doc instead of a PDF is because if you have a screen reader, it needs to be able to read it as a document. Now, this syllabus just kind of has the basic information that you need for this class. It has my contact information here. Now, I don't actually have an office anymore, so I don't have an office listed. I don't have office hours listed. I am an adjunct professor. I only teach online, so I don't have a place on campus that I'm at during the day. Okay, but importantly, it does have my email address on here. That is going to be the best way that you can get a hold of me. Okay, if you need anything from me, email me. Okay, I work at a church during the day full time, and I answer my emails all day long. So if you ever need anything, email me. You can also send me a message through Remind if you want to, but those 2 ways are really the best ways to get a hold of me. While we're talking about email, I'm going to show you something real quick. This Send Email tab in Blackboard is not reliable. For some reason, the emails have not been coming through to me, and I had some folks this summer that tried to email me about stuff, and it never made it to me. So I don't recommend that you click on that tab. Okay, if you need to send me an email, I recommend that you just open up your school email and send an email to this address. Okay. Now, if you do send me an email, as the policy for all of our teachers on campus, you need to send it from your university email. Okay. If you send it from, cooldude53@gmail.com, I have no idea if that's actually you or not, and I can't give you any information because of FERPA. All right. So please make sure that you're sending me emails from your actual UACCM email. And if you don't know how to get to that, you can call our help center, or you can, contact somebody at the school, and they'll be happy to show you how to get there. Okay. You've got the information for our Dean of General Studies. If you have any questions for her, you can go by her office in the University Center, or you can shoot her an email or give her a call. Here you have our course description. You can read through all of that stuff on your own. I'm not going to go too much into it. A few prerequisites. Now, important information, your textbook. Okay, you do have a required textbook for this class. It is Roger Kamian's Music and Appreciation Brief, the 10th edition. Now, you need to make sure that it is brief, that it's the brief version that you get. Okay, if you go to the bookstore, they should get you the right one, but you never know. So make sure it says brief on the cover and 10th edition. Okay, now I strongly recommend that you get the ebook version for the web version of this class, because I'll show you that textbook real quick. Let me pull it up. Okay, so if you buy the ebook version of it, you can, of course, pull it up on the web, and there's a Kindle reader, there's an iPad reader, and all that stuff for it. Now, what's cool about this is that even in the very first chapter, when we start getting into this, you've got some extra content that will help you. There we go. So as we get into part 1, you'll notice that it's got videos to explain things. Now, I do have lectures posted, but these videos are much better produced. They're shorter. They'll be generally better videos for you to watch. And then any audio examples, which is what your listening assignments are going to be based on, you'll be able to actually play them from the book. Okay, so while you're reading about it, you can actually be playing the piece of music and be reading the information while you go. And you'll see more about how to do those assignments in the video that I posted. But I strongly suggest that you get the ebook version just because of this. All right, so when you go to the McGraw-Hill website, if you search for that ISBN number, this is the page that's going to pop up. I strongly recommend getting the ebook. You can rent it for $50, which is pretty cheap for a textbook. You don't need this digital stuff, the $100 McGraw-Hill Connect. You do not need that. If you went to the bookstore and you bought the textbook and it came with a card and you paid like $140 for it, you need to go back to the bookstore and tell them you need your money back, because you do not need McGraw-Hill Connect anymore. We're not using that system anymore. Now, if you did already buy the textbook, that's perfectly fine. You can use that for the class, for all the reading. I know some people prefer to have a physical textbook that you can highlight and, do all that stuff, although you can highlight the digital version as well. But, I understand if you bought the physical version, that's perfectly fine. You will have access to recordings of the audio. You'll just have to do it through the lecture videos, okay, instead of just being able to click on the book and listen to it that way. So if you haven't bought the textbook yet, get the ebook version. It's really going to be the best value for you and the best experience for you for this semester. All right, skipping over outcomes and stuff like that. You can read over those. Let's talk about grading and evaluation. There are 4 different categories that you're going to see for each item that's in this course. You've got homework and in-class work, which is all labeled as assignments. Those are 35% of your total grade. These will be things like your multiple choice assignments, your listening assignments, your discussion boards. You'll have 2 this semester. The practice assignments from week 1 that I'm going to show you in just a minute. All of that stuff is going to fall under this 35% of your total grade. Okay. Also, I will drop the lowest 2 grades. So if you miss 2 assignments at some point, it's not going to affect your grade at all. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So don't even stress about that. Also, for all of the assignments for this class, you have 48 hours to turn in any late assignments for full credit. Okay, so almost everything in this class is due on a Monday at 8 a.m., with the exceptions of holidays and stuff like that. So if it's due on Monday at 8 a.m. and you turn it in Wednesday by 8 a.m., you'll still get full credit for it. Now, I don't recommend that you make a habit of turning everything in late, because you're just going to end up behind in the class, and eventually you're going to run out of time because the final exam can't be turned in late, stuff like that. So, but you can turn things in up to 48 hours late if you need to get full credit, and you can turn things in up to a week late for partial credit, and I'll determine how much credit you get based on when you turn it in. So if it's due on, let's say, October 5th, and you turn it in on October 12th, you will at least get partial credit for that. Probably very little if you wait a full week to turn it in, but you will at least get a little bit of credit. The performance assessments, these are 2 major assignments that you're going to do this semester. And again, I'm going to talk more about those in another video. Each of those assignments is worth 10% of your grade. So the performance assessments together are going to be a combined 20% of your final grade. That's a big chunk. Okay, so you need to make sure you get those done correctly and on time. Okay, now I will not accept these late for any reason. It says it right here in the syllabus. It also says it in the performance assessment guidelines. Your due dates are very clear. I even ask you about the due dates in the syllabus quiz, but I will not accept those performance assessments late. So please make sure you get those turned in on time. All right. You'll also have 6 quizzes in this class. About every 2 weeks, you'll have a quiz which will cover a unit of the book, what the book calls parts. So we're covering 6 parts of the music appreciation book. We're not going to cover the 7th part, unfortunately. We don't have time for it. But we are going to cover 6 parts, and you'll have a quiz at the end of each of those parts. There'll be 25 question quizzes, and those will total up to 35% of your total grade. And I will drop the lowest quiz grade. So whatever quiz you bomb, that one will get dropped from your final grade. Okay? And you will also have 2 exams in this class, and those 2 exams together will come up to 15%. That is a midterm exam and a final exam. The midterm exam actually happens a little more than halfway through the semester, and it's going to cover the first 4 parts of the book. Okay, and then the final exam will only cover parts 5 and 6 of the textbook. So it's not a comprehensive final exam. It is just the last little bit. Right, that should make things a little bit easier for you. Now, again, exams will only be made up under extreme circumstances, and you have to work that out with me, and that is up to my discretion to decide if you can make up an exam or not. Okay, I should also point out that you cannot make up quizzes. So if you get if you forget to take a quiz or something like that, just make that the one that gets dropped, and make sure you get all of your other ones in. Okay, you cannot make up quizzes. Okay, now let's talk about attendance. Okay, so attendance for a web class is a little bit different, but it should be the same for any online classes. So if you've had an online class before, this should be very familiar for you. So I'm going to take attendance once a week. Pretty much on Monday mornings, I'll go in and take attendance. And that attendance will be for the previous week of class. Okay, so from Monday to Monday, you'll have a set of assignments that you need to get done. Almost all of our assignments, as I said, are due at 8 a.m. on Monday. So whatever that due date is, that's when I'm going to take attendance. And the way that you get counted as attended is that you have done at least one assignment. Okay, if it's a discussion board or a quiz or an exam or something like that, that counts. Okay, but you have to have done at least one thing in the course during the week to be counted as attended, as present. Okay, if you don't turn anything in during a week that was due that week, then I will count you absent for the week. Now, the way that our online classes work, if you have 2 absences in this class and you are failing the class, so 2 absences plus a failing grade, I will have to drop you from the class and what we call an administrative withdrawal. All right, so please make sure that you're on top of all your stuff, that your grades are up. And really, this is to benefit you. If you get so far behind that you are 2 absences in the class and you're failing, the best thing for you to do is going to be to drop the class, okay? Because you're not going to be able to catch up. These web classes are a little bit more intense. You've got to do a lot of work on your own. And if you get really behind on these, you're going to have a really difficult time catching up. Now, if you are dropped from the class, if you do get a notice that says the administrative withdrawal was done and you were dropped, then you have a week to appeal that. That doesn't go through me. That goes through an appeals committee, and they'll decide whether or not you can come back to the class. If they put you back in the class, then just get your stuff turned in, and we'll continue on. All right. But if you don't appeal it, you will be immediately dropped from the class. Okay. I don't really do excused absences very much, but if you have something going on, or if you say you're in the National Guard and you're going to have a really busy couple of weeks or something like that, shoot me an email ahead of time and let me know. Hey, I'm going to do my stuff for this week. It might just be a couple of days late. Then I'll hold off on counting you absent for that week until you get your stuff turned in. Okay, I try to be a little bit flexible about that stuff. Just let me know how I can help you. Okay, I've already talked a little bit about late work and attendance and all the assignments, so be sure to read about those again. And all the rest of this stuff is pretty much just from the school technology requirements. You got to be able to do this class online. If you don't know how to check your email or open a browser, you're probably going to struggle with a web class, right? That participation policy that we talked about is on there. Response time, I am required to respond to an email within 48 hours. Now, that is 48 business hours, so please be mindful of that. If you email me at 7 o'clock at night on Friday, don't expect to get an email from me until Monday morning sometime. Okay, I do take weekends, and I think that's reasonable. All right, so I have had students before email me at 10 o'clock on Friday night, and then email my dean at 6 o'clock on Monday morning and say, "Well, I emailed him and he didn't email me back." So be aware of that. Work hours are generally when you can expect to get a hold of me. Okay, if you email me during the day, I will probably email you back within a couple of hours. All right, but if it's a weekend, it's probably going to be the next day or a couple of days. All right, you've got information about the final exam. You are expected to use Respondus Monitor for the midterm and the final exam. If that does not work for you, then you need to go. We'll need to do a proctored exam, and you just need to email me and let me know. And of course, I forgot to fill in my dates here, so I'll update that later on. I've got an academic honesty policy, course rationale, stuff like that you can read on your own. I'm not going to get into that now. Okay, so that's the basic stuff from the syllabus. Let's go back over to our course. So the next document that you need to look at is the course schedule. And again, this will pop up in Word. All right, the course schedule looks like this. It has a week-by-week breakdown of the dates that I am considering for each week of the class. You'll notice that some of those are more than 7 days. That's because of holidays and things like that. I'm going to explain that more when we look at the course schedule. This is just basically telling you what to expect, what parts and what chapters of the book that we're going to be covering during this section. Okay? And it does have the final exam. The study guide will be posted. I'm actually probably going to post that on the 5th of December. And then when the final exam opens and when it's due and all that stuff. Okay. And let's look at the course outlines and due dates. This is a document that you need to save this somewhere that you can get to it quickly. It's one that is going to be really important for you to know. Now, this does look a lot like the course schedule, but if you'll notice, for every week, I've got the dates that week applies to, and then I've got when the assignments are due and the assignments that are due that week. For every single week of this semester, I have that lined out. Okay? So for this first week of class, it actually starts on Wednesday and goes through Monday, so the 24th through the 29th. You have 2 assignments that are due on the 29th. They're very simple assignments. The syllabus is a 10-question quiz over the syllabus and the documents that are in that folder. It does cover some stuff in the performance assessment document, so make sure you're looking at that. And then practice assignment 1 is just a little assignment to show you how to do the listening assignments that we do for this class. And if you watch that How to Complete Assignments video, you'll get an idea of how to take care of that. Week 2 is when things actually start and we actually get into the content of this. So that will go from Monday the 29th. And here's an example of the holiday. So Labor Day is the 5th. All right, campus is closed on Labor Day, so I'm not going to expect you to turn in assignments on Labor Day, which would be the 5th of September. So you can actually turn everything in on Tuesday, which is the 6th. So that week, everything is due on that Tuesday at 8 a.m. And that week, you have 2 assignments due. You have multiple choice assignment 1.1-4 and 2 listening assignments, 1.1 and 1.2. Now, the way that this works is multiple choice assignment 1.1-4 is part 1, chapters 1 through 4. Okay, so those 4 chapters worth of stuff. And when you hear chapters, you think this is going to take forever. The chapters are usually not more than a couple of pages long, so they're pretty short chapters. So you're going to have a multiple choice assignment that is over the first 4 chapters of the book. And then you're going to have listening assignments, again, divided up by chapters. So the first chapter has 2 pieces of music that they want you to listen to and analyze. And you do have information. And again, this is all in that How to Complete the Assignments video. So you'll be able to find the answers in the textbook, but you do need to be able to listen to it as well while you're doing it. So almost every week, you'll have multiple choice assignments and listening assignments due. Okay? Like I said, about every other week, you will also have a quiz that's due. And the quiz is due the same day and time as those assignments are. So the entirety of week 3 is due on September 12th, Monday at 8 a.m. Okay, you've got a multiple choice assignment, 2 listening assignments, and a quiz due that week. So just make sure you're doing that. The quiz will actually be made up of questions from these multiple choice assignments. Okay. So I condensed those 2 assignments down to a 25 question quiz for you. So they're questions you will have seen before. All right, week 4 is pretty standard. Week 5, you've got a quiz. Week 6 is standard. The first time that you have something extra due other than just a quiz is in week 8, which ends on October 19th. Okay, so that day you have Performance Assessment 1 due. Now you'll notice that you have a little bit of extra time here, 10/10 through the 19th to get that done. Okay, that's because fall break is the 17th and 18th. So this stuff is all due on a Wednesday. But Performance Assessment 1 is due that week as well. So if you wait until that week to do Performance Assessment 1, at least you have a couple of extra days to do it. I suggest that you actually start working on Performance Assessment 1 sometime at the beginning of September, because you're going to need some time to plan to go to a concert and stuff like that. You'll understand that more when you watch that video. We get over to week 9. Week 9 is a little bit crazy, but again, you'll notice that you've got a little bit of extra time. It's actually more than 7 days, okay, the 19th through the 31st to get through week 9. Okay, it's actually kind of 2 weeks starting after fall break. So Wednesday through not the next Monday, but the Monday after that. Okay, so for this section, you have a discussion board due in addition to 1 multiple choice and 1 listening assignment. You have a discussion board due, which will be self-explanatory. You have a quiz due, and you have your midterm exam due all during that 12-day period. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention to that whenever it comes time for it. All right, you got a lot of stuff to do, and you don't want to wait until the 30th at midnight to start working on this stuff. Okay. And again, the midterm exam, you'll have to use Respondus Lockdown Browser for it. You'll have practiced that because you have to use it for the syllabus assignment as well. So you should already have it installed and know how to use it by that point. But make sure you get on there early enough that you can get everything set up and be ready to take the midterm. Now, that midterm exam will be made up of questions from quiz 1 through 4. So the first 4 quizzes, I'll pull 50 questions from that question pool and make it your midterm exam. Okay, everything else looks pretty standard. Again, you'll notice that there's a couple of long times in here. Week 13 is technically 2 weeks long because of Thanksgiving. And then you've got some extra time in week 14 because that leads all the way up to finals. So you have from Monday to the following Wednesday to get these assignments done, which again is good because you have that performance assessment due again on the 14th. And then the last 2 weeks of class, starting on December 15th, which goes from the 15th to the 20th, is actually just the final exam. All right, so you'll have the study guide, you'll be able to access that, and then you'll be able to access the final starting on the 15th at 8 a.m. so that you can take the final exam. Okay, again, hang on to this. If you have any questions, at the beginning of every week, I suggest that you pull up this document and say, okay, this is the stuff that's due this week, and make sure you're getting that done. Then you should be fine. Okay, and all these due dates should line up perfectly with what you see in Blackboard. If they don't for some reason, if you see something due on here that you can't see in Blackboard, please let me know. Okay, I do make mistakes sometimes. Blackboard can be a little janky sometimes. If I messed up a due date or something, I need to know about it. So if something doesn't look right, please let me know and I'll check it out, or I can explain to you how you can find what you need. Okay, that's everything I want to go over in the syllabus folder. The rest of this stuff you can read on your own, the course expectations, the performance assessment guidelines. I have a whole video about the performance assessments that you'll be able to watch. I'll make that available in the coming week or so. I don't have it up yet, but you'll be able to see that here coming pretty soon. Now, everything else that you're going to need for this class is found under course materials. Okay, that's over here on the left underneath the line. So course materials. Again, you've got this same information about what to do on week 1, just in case that's the first thing you click on. I wanted to have it in both places. Now, you'll notice there's a folder down here that says week 1, intro to the class. Okay, every single week you will have a folder that looks like this. Now, sometimes they'll have a picture or something like that there that you'll see. So they're actually taken from the textbook, so you can see what chapter and stuff we're on. So if you click on this folder, again, you've got this lovely Bitmoji of me, and you'll get real tired of these Bitmojis by the end of the semester. I do promise that. And then you've got your week 1 instructions, which are pretty much the same as what you saw on what to do on day 1. Now, I did explain that you've got a couple of practice assignments here and when those are due. So you've got a video on how to install the Lockdown browser, which you will need for the syllabus quiz, right? And the instructions for that. And then this practice assignment. So for the practice assignment, you will click on it, and then you'll click on this document right here, and you'll actually answer everything on the document and then attach that into your assignment and hit submit. And again, I've got a detailed video on that that you'll be able to find. So each and every week, your folder will look something like this. So the folder for the week will have instructions at the top of it. It'll be actually copied exactly from those that course outline and due dates page right here. So again, you'll be able to see everything that's due for the week. And then you can just go down, and anything that has this little link icon is probably a video. You can click on it and it'll explain, maybe an old recorded lecture or something like that you can click on. And then you'll have these multiple choice assignments, which will kind of look like quizzes, but they're just regular multiple choice assignments. And again, I explained those in the How to Complete Your Assignments video. And then you'll have what are called listening assignments, which will all look just like practice assignment 1, which is why I've given you practice assignment 1 to practice doing those before you get into the first actual week of content. So every week will appear in this course materials folder, and I've got them all set to show up the Friday before the week starts. So week 2 will actually appear this Friday, and it will show up above week 1. So whatever the newest week is will show up on the top, so you're not having to scroll all the way down to the page to find whatever the current week is. It'll be right there on the top for you. Now, eventually, you'll also see a folder for the performance assessments, and then you will also find a folder for the final exam as we get to the final exam at the end of the semester. Sometimes I'll add extra content in there as well, and I'll let you know if any of that stuff happens. Okay, so that is pretty much how you can access everything in this class. The gradebook, of course, is where your grades will show up, and you can already see all of the assignments for the semester with their due dates in there. And notice that like some of them are called assignments, some of them are called, now any of these that are called tests is going to go away. That'll actually be called a quiz. The ones that will be called exams, that kind of lets you know where they fall in that grading scale. And then down at the very bottom, you'll see your final grade, and that will update throughout the semester. So whatever that final grade is, that's what you're looking at right now. Just be aware that my grades are weighted. So, if you have only taken one exam, then that's going to skew your grade a little bit. So you can always ask me, and I will help you kind of figure out what you're looking at, how you're doing, and all of that good stuff. But I do suggest paying attention to this as well. But don't just click on the assignments from here to do them. Go to the course materials, because that's where you'll find all the instructions and any extra information that you're going to need about it. And that's also where you'll find the lecture videos. Okay, so if you see something that says, Part 1, Chapter 2, and has a date by it, that's actually a lecture video from my old face-to-face classes that'll help you get through this stuff. Okay, I think that's everything you need to know to get started. Again, if you have any questions, please email me. I'm happy to work things out with you. If you need to have like a face-to-face conversation via Blackboard, Collaborate, or Zoom or something like that, we can work that out. I have Zoom, of course, so I can use that. And I do have a virtual office in Blackboard, so I can meet with you that way. I don't really do phone calls or anything like that because I don't like to give out my cell phone number to students. But again, you can message me through Remind if you need anything from me that way. All right, I hope you have a great semester. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. And you will hear from me again every week. I will post a little instruction video kind of welcoming you to that week and telling you what you need to do for that week. So you'll get a few of those from me throughout the semester. Take care, and I hope you have a good first week of class.